As I was getting ready to preach this morning, I'm a contractor on my nighttime job. I'm a contractor, and I work around some people, Lance, that sometimes use some language I don't use. If you're not careful around all of these kind of languages that you hear, you can let your guard down, and it's easy sometimes for some of the words they say to get into your mind. And so, we worked up in Nashville one time, and I was on a job up there, and they went outside and they put this big old barrel out there, and they put some of the scrap wood and stuff in that barrel and built a big fire in the wintertime. And during break or lunchtime or something, a lot of guys would gather around that barrel and they would warm their hands and warm up right around that barrel. If you were much of a Christian, the last place you wanted to be, even though there was a fire coming out of that barrel, was around that barrel. Because, you know, they're contractors. They're construction workers, brother Johnny. Some of the language that you hear on a construction job may not coincide with your Christian walk. And so I kind of pictured Peter this night as he tried to stay with the Lord and couldn't hang with him. They took him to places he couldn't go. And I kind of pictured him, like some Bible says they built a fire there in that place. And I kind of pictured Peter just kind of walking up, maybe his mind all messed up, I'm thinking, probably about what's going on. And maybe he was scared, afraid that they were going to come get him next. I don't know that, but he gets in the midst of the barrel burning wood. Maybe somebody said they caught him, didn't they? Who? That Jesus guy, that guy that's running around claiming to be the Son of God. They got him. Yeah, I heard that he's in there now, I think. And maybe they said something to Peter, and you all know how Peter is. He's kind of like Wayne. He can't keep his mouth shut. I mean, Gina. Did I say Wayne? And every once in a while, maybe he had something to say in the midst of this. But something about his voice, maybe it's not the words that he said near as much as there was something about the way he said what he said. And I know he was a Galilean and he didn't really fit in that crowd. I said he didn't really fit in that crowd. I said he didn't really fit. But anyway, end up having to be there. Maybe somebody talked to him or asked him a question or something, and just maybe he answered them, and it wasn't the same spirit as everybody else had, Brother John. It wasn't like everybody else talked. And he ended up in trouble because of the way he talked. His speech betrayed him. I've been through some things lately. Here's where we're preaching at. Here's where the rubber hits the road. I kind of wanted to set this up. I've been through some things lately, and going through some things that I've went through. I can tell you by the congregation, by hanging around some of you saints of God that I know and love so much, I can tell by some of y'all what you're going through. Not really what you're going through, but if you're going through some stuff. And I can tell by talking to you for just a few minutes whether you're handling what you're going through right or not. It don't take me long to find out that I hear doubt in some people's voice. I hear sometimes, saints of God, the lack of faith in some people's voice. I hear sometimes people's voice being troubled. And this kind of lets me know sometimes, saints of God. And then I hear somebody going through almost the same thing or something worse, and I hear them say, Jesus, 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 He's my Lord of all. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There's something different about some voices that I hear. There's just somehow or another, I can tell Sister Barbara, if you're going through something, somehow or another the Spirit of God inside of me tells me Sister Barbara's going through some hard times. But then sometimes the Spirit of God inside of me will say, Sister Barbara's not handling this hard time she's going through like she ought to be handling it. If she just go ahead and praise me through the hard time like she does through the good time, then the hard time wouldn't last near as long as it does, because somehow or another people forget to praise God when they're going through hard times. You know why I said I hope you show up now. Sometimes, saints of God, God's people change their way of talking because of the circumstances they're going through. I'm telling you, you're supposed to be a Christian when you're up, and you're supposed to be a Christian when you're down. You're supposed to be the servant of the same God when you're up as you are when you're down. You're supposed to be serving the same God when the light bill's paid as you are when you're waiting on the money to get here. Y'all don't want me this morning. I said He's God whether you like Him or whether you don't like Him. If you're going to trust Him when you're eating steak, you better trust Him when you're eating grits. Come on, somebody. If the voices out of your mouth, Sister Jeannie Wiggins, is all good and sound good when everything's going right, when something's going bad, you need to be saying the same thing as you was before it got there. Is this all right? Here stands Peter at the fire around the enemy. Brother Johnny, me, you've been there. Lance, me, you've been there. Alan, we've been there around some of them fires. Yeah, we've been there when the people around that fire ain't saying all Christian stuff. Man. I don't want to get wrapped up in it. I don't want to get swayed by it. I know the same God that saw me in church and seen me by the barrel. I know the same God that looked inside my home over there and heard me whining and crying about how bad things was is the same God that hears me in church stand up and say, just believe God, it'll be okay. If it's going to be okay in church, it's got to be okay in the bedroom. If it's going to be okay up here in front of all you people, it's got to be okay out there on the job. If it's going to be okay tomorrow, it's got to be okay today. But shut up! Shut! Brother and Sister Jean, I preached a message, Sister Jean, like to wore me out about it. After I preached it, she tell me, shut up your face. Somebody said, if you ain't got something good to say, shut up your face. Because we as God's people, saints of God, have been given a new way of talking. You're not going to hear me talking very much about how much I hurt because I'm healed. How you feel, Brother Wayne, don't make much difference. I'm healed.
That's right. Come on.
You're not going to hear us talk very much, saints of God, about the bills being due, because when we start talking about them being due, we start adding doubt. And anything you ask and believe and doubt not, it shall be given to you. So I'm not talking doubt. I'm not talking that kind of mess. Because that kind of mess lets me know that I'm looking at